What's up, guys? Back here with another video, and I want to get my breakdown of UFC 273. Alexander Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie, live April 9th, I believe. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a really good card. We also got the rematch between Aljamain Sterling, Petr Gilbert Burns, Chimaev. That's Mackenzie Dern, Tisha Torres, and Kelvin Gastelum. You know, he's fighting as well. Again, it's gonna be, an amazing card. I can't wait. I know you guys can't wait because I know I can't. And yeah, man, make sure to please hit the subscribe button, guys. Ring that bell, and let's dive right into it. So, the main event, Volkanovski versus Zombie, Cha Sung Jung, I believe his name is. Should be a really good fight. For Volkanovski, he's just coming off the victory over Brian Ortega in his last fight, which dominant fashion. Besides Ortega having those two big moments during the fight, which is he had a really tight guillotine and a really tight triangle choke as well. I believe it's a triangle choke as well in that fight, but it was still the Volkanovski game though throughout that whole fight. And for the Korean Zombie, he looked really good against Dan Ige in his last fight. And I feel like for Zombie, there are a couple of things you got to watch out with Volkanovski. One, great leg kicks that Volkanovski throws. He throws really good leg kicks. Yeah, you know, Zombie likes to stay in that boxing type of stance, you know, while he strikes and stuff. So, got to watch out for that. Beautiful leg kicks that Volkanovski be throwing. The wrestling, and it sounds stupid for me to say the wrestling, but Volkanovski has a really good chain wrestling that comes with his striking. You know, his striking that leads into the wrestling when he goes and looks for takedowns and whatnot. For the Korean Zombie, really good jiu-jitsu practitioner. One of the few guys, I think the first guy to ever catch anybody with a twister. Or you ever gotten stuck in that, it sucks, especially for your back. Yeah, man, I think it's a really good matchup. I mean, this fight is gonna be really good. You know, I think for Zombie, you know, needs to be first. Keep the pressure on Volkanovski. Again, I already said, mindful of the leg kicks, mindful of the chain wrestling that he does. You know, if anybody gets taken down for Zombie, I feel like it'd be beneficial for him to be on top. But it should be good to see how the wrestling game versus the jiu-jitsu aspect of the Korean Zombie will play for Volkanovski, just as much it will for the Korean Zombie. Who's going to win in that battle? Striking is pretty good from both guys. Volkanovski is really good at closing the distance with his strikes. Throws hard for a little guy. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty good even fight, maybe. But I think Volkanovski is a little bit better when it comes to pressure. Because sometimes the Korean Zombie has his moments that he's not really good under pressure. You know, like he looked, you know, the way he looked against Ortega wasn't the Zombie that we all used to seeing fight. He didn't pull the trigger as much. And then in this type of fight right here, he's going to have to be pulling the trigger. He's going to have to do what he kind of did against Dan Ige. You know, use his wrestling, use his striking, and it has to be efficient. You know, Zombie has really good power as well, so it's not like he don't have power, just like Volkanovski. So that's going to be the most interesting part of the fight, is to see who's game plan and who's going to implement the game plan. The best, you know, for Zombie, like I said, just need to control that pressure that he feels doing big fights like this, and this is a really big fight for him. You know, but I think at the end of the day, though, I think Volkanovski is going to pull out the victory. I feel like, you know, this is a great fight to see, man. I can't wait. You guys let me know down in the comment section who you got in the main event, Volkanovski or the Korean Zombie in the main event. Now, in the co-main event, we got Aljamain Sterling defending the bantamweight title against Petr Yan. In that fight, as we all know, everybody want to see, because the way that first fight ended, you know, it kind of sucked. You know, I mean, Yan was at fault for throwing the knee. Aljamain Sterling was down clearly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Rather, Aljamain Sterling was faking it or not. it still sucked, you know, to see the fight end like that. It sucked really bad. You know, interim. I believe Petr Yan is the interim champion after. Yeah, he is after fighting Corey Sandhagen, if I'm not mistaken, for the interim title. And what I like about Petr Yan, besides, you know, that little thing he had there with Aljamain, was his ability to adapt and to change, you know, and pick up what his opponents are throwing at him. You know, that's going to be huge. And for Aljamain Sterling, he can't let Petr Yan kind of adapt and adjust to what he's doing in the octagon. You know, Aljamain had really good success in the beginning of that fight until, you know, I just felt like for Aljo, he just went out way too strong. He was just trying way too hard. He tried way too hard to just try to be there and try to finish Yan. I hope this fight he stays cool, calm, and composed, because I feel like he was just too wild in that fight. Not everything was really landing on Petr Yan, you know, after a while. And like I said, once Petr Yan makes the adjustments that he needs to make during mid-fight, which is something really hard to do, especially with millions of people looking at you, you know, thousands in the octagon, millions around the world looking at you, and you making the adjustment midway through a fight, which is fantastic for Petr Yan. So I think I like Aljamain Sterling a lot. I like his wrestling. You know, when he's on and his wrestling looks good, it looks great for Aljamain Sterling. I feel like Petr Yan is pretty well rounded. I think Petr Yan could get the upset over Aljamain Sterling in their fight right now. You know, it's gonna be interesting to see. I can't wait. You know, Aljo coming off surgeries and stuff, so I feel like Yan has the better advantage and better preparation. I mean, not that I'm saying that Aljo didn't have any, but I just think Petr Yan, I think, is gonna come out with the victory later on. You guys let me know down in the comment section who you guys got in the main event of that. Sorry, and again we have Gilbert Burns, Chimaev. That's freaking ridiculous. That's a ridiculous fight. It's gonna be great. Two guys, really, one guy really good at wrestling and the other guy really good at jiu-jitsu, and they both have pretty good, decent striking too. So it's gonna be interesting seeing who is gonna win that fight, man. I can't wait. Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing card. Amazing card. Live Saturday, April 9th, I believe. And yeah, man, if you guys liked the video, make sure to please throw those thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.